So this is Dr. T.B. Rao, Professor, DBS Institute of Technology. So today I am going to explain transmission system in automobile engineering. Okay. So already we have discussed something about transmission system. Okay. Transmission system means it transmits the power from the engine to the gearbox. Okay. So from the gearbox again the power will be transmitted to the wheels. And the transmission system designed between this engine, shaft and the gearbox. In between that, so how the power is transmitted, all these things we have discussed in the transmission system. Okay. So to transmit the power, they designed a component called clutch. So clutch is a component which transmit the power from the engine to the gearbox. Okay. So clutch is used to engage or disengage the engine through the transmission or gearbox. So when it is engaged, it transmits the power. When it is disengaged, it stops the transmission of power. Already all these things we have discussed. Okay. So this class, today we will discuss about how the multiplate clutch it works. Okay. So in previous class we have discussed how the single plate clutch it works. Single plate clutch means, so this is a single plate clutch. So this is a engine shaft and this will be other side will be a shaft to the gearbox. Between these two shafts we provided a component called clutch. Okay. So when it is engaged, the power is directly transmitted. When it is disengaged, the power transmission will be stopped. Okay. So this clutch consists of, okay, this is a assembly. It consists of so many components. So there is a clutch plate. There is a clutch plate. There will be a pressure plate. Okay. So this is a clutch plate. This is a pressure plate, and this will be a diaphragm, and there will be a spring. Okay. So this here the diaphragm it acts as a spring and clutch cover, and here there will be a splines will be there. So with the help of the splines, the clutch plate movement over the shaft. Okay. When clutch presses, this clutch plate it moves. It will be separated from the engine shaft. Okay. So now today we'll see how the multiplate clutch it works. So what is why the multiplate clutch is required means already we have discussed a single plate clutch. Okay. So why multiplate clutch is required means if you want to transmit more amount of torque, we require a multiplate clutch. Okay. So multiplate clutch consists of more number of clutch plates. If it had more than one clutch plate, then it is called as multiplate clutch. It consists of more number of clutch plates, and it is capable to transmit more amount of torque from the engine shaft to the driven shaft. Okay. So where this multiplate clutch will be used means where there is a high power transmitted. In particular cases we use multiplate clutch. Example, racing cars, heavy trucks. Okay. In particular cases we use multiplate clutch. Okay. This multiplate clutch consists of an engine shaft. The engine shaft is connected to the flywheel. So this is a flywheel. Okay. So this is a driven shaft. So over the driven shaft, there will be a clutch plate, a clutch assembly. This clutch assembly also there will be a number of clutch plates, okay, and between that there will be friction surfaces, there will be friction rings. So generally coiled springs will be used to create the friction. There will be a top of the clutch plate. There will be friction lining, and here there is a spring. In case of a single plate clutch, we use diaphragm spring. So in multiplate clutch, we use this coiled spring for engage and disengage of the clutch. Okay. Okay. This multiplate clutch consists of more than one clutch plate than compared to the single plate clutch. So friction surfaces are made in case of a multiplate clutch. So there will be many friction surfaces because of more number of clutch plates. So due to increased number of friction surfaces, a multiplate clutch can transmit large amount of torque. This is the main important motto of multiplate clutch. Multiplate clutch, it transmits more amount of torque. So therefore it is used in racing cars and heavy motor vehicles, okay, so which have high engine power. This clutch plate are alternately fitted with engine shaft and the shaft of the gearbox. Okay, clutch plate will be, there will be alternative clutch plates. In between that there will be pressure plates. The plates are firmly held by the force of coil springs and they are assembled in a drum. One plate slides in a grooves on the flywheel and the next plate slides on the pressure plate. Thus, each alternative plate slides in a grooves on the flywheel and the other it slides on the splines of pressure plate. If you take two consecutive plates, one has inner and other has outer splines. Okay. So here there will be splines in the shaft as well as inside of the friction flywheel. Okay. So one plate moves over this shaft, other plate moves over the splines of the inside the flywheel. When the clutch pedal is pressed, so when the clutch pedal is pressed, what happens means, so always this clutch plates are engaged with this. Always the clutch plates are engaged with the flywheel. If this is a flywheel and this is a clutch plate, always it will be engaged. When clutch is pressed, what happens? The spring force it disengages the clutch. When clutch is pressed, the clutch plate is disengaged with the from the engine shaft and it will be disengaged. Okay, and when we remove the clutch, again it will be engaged. Okay, like this. So this engage and disengage of the clutch with the help of the pressing of the clutch plate, clutch. Like this we can engage and disengage. Since there is a more number of plates, we can transmit more amount of power. This is the principle of operation in case of a multiplate clutch. If it is a multiplate clutch or single plate clutch, the mechanism is simple. When in case of multiplate clutch, we can transmit more amount of torque. So that is the only thing. Okay. There is another thing will be, there is another type of clutch will be there, that is a centrifugal clutch. There is a centrifugal clutch. If you observe, so this is a driving shaft and the driven shaft. Okay. So these two shafts are arranged concentrically. Okay. The axis of the both the shafts are same. Okay. So one shaft is arranged inside the other shaft. See, in driving shaft, so this there will be springs. For the spring, we arrange this something like a friction lining. There will be some weight over the weight friction lining will be there. Like this circumferentially there will be, so here there are, we arranged say 4 friction lining plates. So here, if you observe, there is no clutch play, there is no clutch. Without the clutch, so we operated the clutch plates. We'll see. So if when the driving shaft, when the speed increases, what happens means when the speed increases, here the centrifugal forces increases. When the speed of the driving shaft increases, here centrifugal forces increases. When centrifugal forces increases means, so this friction linings, it moves towards the driven shaft and engage, it touches this driven shaft inner surface, and like that there is a engagement of it engages with the other shaft. Once it engages with other shaft, like this the power can be transmitted. So here also like this, when speed increases, this it engages with the outer shaft, and like this the power is transmitted from the inner shaft to the outer shaft. So generally this we use in scooters and mopeds. See, when this speed increases, this it moves towards the outer shaft, like this the clutch is engaged. So in this clutch, the centrifugal force is used for keeping it engaged position instead of spring force. Centrifugal clutch does not require any clutch pedal. So this centrifugal clutch don't require any clutch pedal. Without the clutch pedal, we can operate this clutch. A centrifugal clutch is a clutch that uses 2 concentric shafts, as we discussed, in which the driving shaft nested inside the driven shaft. It engages more at high speeds. Low speeds it will be disengaged. At high speeds it will be engaged. The centrifugal clutch consists of number of shoes or friction pads arranged radially symmetrical position inside the rim. It can slide along the guides integral with the boss on the driving shaft. The shoes are held against the boss using the spring that exerts radially inward force. So at low speeds, the centrifugal forces are low, the shoe remain in the same position and the power cannot be transmitted. When the speed increases, centrifugal forces increases. When speed increases, centrifugal forces increases, and it exceeds the spring force, and the spring elongates, and the shoe, this friction lining shoe, it engages with the outer shaft. Like this, the power is transmitted from inner shaft to the outer shaft. The centrifugal clutches are often used in mopeds, lawn mowers, go-karts, chainsaws, mini bikes, and boats. So there is no clutch pedal. If you increase the speed, automatically the clutch it transmits more amount of power. So this is the mechanism in case of a centrifugal clutch. So today we are discuss multiplate clutch. What is meant multiplate clutch? Why we use for multiplate clutch? What is the principle of working? And similarly, centrifugal clutch. The centrifugal clutch, this is some special kind of clutch. Okay, it won't require a clutch pedal. When speed increases, the clutch engage and disengage, it takes place. And the centrifugal clutch has some advantages. It is a simple and inexpensive, and it requires a very little maintenance. And second advantage is the centrifugal clutch is automatic. Any kind of control mechanism is not necessary. It helps to prevent engine from stalling. The engagement speed can precisely controlled by selecting the spring. Disadvantages will be loss of power due to friction and slipping. So this type of clutch not appropriate for high amount of torque, and may slip at very high loads. The engage at full and nearly full power, shoes get heated and very quickly may cause overheating. Okay. So this is about centrifugal clutch. Okay. So next class we will discuss about how the electromagnetic clutch it works. Okay. So thank you.